boy. Why are you crying? There's no crying in soccer.
You told our class to split up into 2 equal teams.
Hey, and?
But I want to play, Coach. I want to play.
It just looks like you're the odd kid out, Jimmy.
And you're okay with that?
Jimmy, you just can't play a game of soccer with an uneven amount of teams.
It looks like Coach Cletus is in quite the predicament. Well, if he knew 9 was an odd number, he probably wouldn't be. What makes a number even and what makes a number odd? Today on Teaching with Mr. H4. Hey there, math extraordinaire. It's Mr. Hernandez, aka Mr. H4, aka Mr. Wash Your Hands. And today we're going to go over what makes something an even or odd number. You probably already know that numbers that have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 are even, and numbers that have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are odd. But do you know why?
Why?
Let's head on over to Zoom and let's figure out why.
So before we start to try to understand what makes something even or what makes something odd, first we need to understand this concept of pairs and teams. So right here I've drawn a group of children. I have 8 children all together. And let's see what happens when I put them into pairs and when I put them into teams. So for the first section with pairs, you should think of 2s. So I'm going to put each child into groups of 2. I'm going to put them into pairs. Pairs of shoes, dancing partners, different types of phrasing. We're just putting them into groups of 2. So for instance, this is a pair. This is a pair. This is a pair, and this is a pair. Now, when it comes to teams, you just think of football, think of baseball. We're going to have 2 teams against each other. So I'm going to take everyone, and I'm going to put them into 2 groups. Watch as I do so. So I look at how much amount I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is group 1, this is group 2, this is group 1, group 2, group 1, group 2, group 1, group 2. So it ends up being this is a group, team A, and this is a group, team B. You will always have 2 different groups. You will never have a group C, D, E, F because this is teams. These are 2 groups. So when I split 8 into 2 groups, I have 2 group. Mind my handwriting. Of 4. And above here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups of 2. So pairs ask for how many groups of 2 do you have, and teams ask for how many are in each group if I split it up into 2 groups. Now, how many pairs are there? There's 4 pairs. How many are in each group? There's 4 in each group. With the answer 4 in your brain, yes, those are very similar, but we just want to make sure that we understand that the concept is very different when we split things into pairs and we split things into teams. Using this, is going to help us with our understanding of what makes something even and what makes something odd.
the show on Disney Channel, Even Stevens. What made it so even? Right?
So now I have two numbers. I have 9 and I have 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the two numbers and I'm going to split them into pairs, and I'm going to split them into teams, and let's see what happens. So I have 9. Remembering pairs are groups of 2, dancers, shoes, partners. So let's put 9 into groups of 2. Group, group. Awesome. What do we notice? Well, when I put 9 into groups of 2, I have 4 groups of 2 and 1 left over. Now, let's put 9 into teams of 2. Maybe it'll be like a little easier for us to do this if I drew 2 circles down here so we understood. But what I can end up doing is, as I go through, I can flash out things that I use as I assign each person, either your group A or group B. This is what we think about with B. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have 1 left over, and if I were to take that and put it in one group or the other, it would be unequal. It wouldn't be equal. So what I need to do is I need to keep that as my leftover. So I end up having 4 in each group, but 1 left over. Now let's see what happens to the number 10 when I try to split it into pairs and split it into teams. Pairs, partners, dancers, together. Social distance over here. Very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I end up having 5 groups of 2. What happens with nothing left over? There's no one off the side, everyone has a partner. So let's see what happens with the team. Once again, I'm going to draw my 2 teams. And now I'm going to put the people into each team. Slow process. We'll work on some advanced tricks later on. Very soothing. So as you can see, what ends up happening here is you have 2 groups, and in each group I have 5. Do I have any leftovers? No, there's no one hanging out. So I've just showed you 2 different numbers, 9, and then I have 10. In 9, I had groups, and then I had 1 left over. When I did it with 10, I had groups, but I had nothing left over. So this is where we find the distinction between an odd number and an even number. An odd number will always have 1 left over, and an even number will have nothing left over when you split it into pairs or you split it into teams.
And now, a public service announcement. It is okay to be odd. March to the beat of your own drum. You might be a loner, you might be the leftover, but keep pushing through. So in review, an even number is a number that can be divided evenly into groups of 2 or 2 equal groups. An odd number is a number that cannot be divided into groups of 2 or 2 equal groups. It will have a leftover. Now that we know what an even and odd number is, let's practice. Janice wants to make cookies for her class. She makes 23 cookies. Does she make an even or odd number of cookies? So now you can pause with your scholar and figure it out yourself. And then on the next page, you'll see what I did. As you can see, in my first strategy, I took the 23 cookies and I placed them into 2 equal groups, Group A and Group B. That being said, when I did that, I had 1 left over. I could not put that into one or the other group, or the number would have been uneven. In my second strategy, I took the number 23 and I looked at it as 20 plus 3. I thought to myself, how can I break up 20 into 2 equal groups? I can break it up as 10 plus 10. And then when it came down to the 3, I kind of realized I couldn't break it up into 2 equal groups. It would have to either be 3 equal groups, which does not help me figure out if it's an even or odd number, or it would be one group would have 2 and the other group would have 1, which is an uneven split. So I ended up just seeing 3 as 1 plus 1 and having 1 left over. When I look at both, I can see that I have 11 in each group with 1 left over. And there you have it, folks. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you liked the video. And I'll see you next time.